Welcome to another vlog. Today we are looking at controlling wireless Sony mic systems with the Yamaha CL and QL mixing consoles. Got a special guest with me, Marcus from Sony. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about the kind of equipment we are using today.
It's the latest version, generation 3 of our digital wireless system. We have body packs, handhelds, and receivers here. We're using the system actually, so what you hear is live from the radio mic system.
Right, perfect. And now, to achieve control, we are using the Dante network, and through the Dante network we are carrying the control signals between console and mic receivers. So one cable per device is how we connect everything. Mixer and each receiver unit here has one cable going to the network switch. Through the cable carries audio via Dante and the control signal using Yamaha's protocol. So it's quite easy to set up from a physical point of view, but there's a few things we need to check on the front panel of the Sony device, isn't there, Marcus? Do you want to talk us through those steps?
Yeah, it's very simple. Just press utility and come in the utility menu. Go to the network setup. That's the most important you have. You can change here your IP addresses. At the moment we're using one IP address, only one cable. And the most important is that you change your ID in Dante from the free ID to the Yamaha ID, because then you have the ability to control the system from the mixing desk. So go to Dante ID and choose Yamaha ID instead the free ID. That's the most important thing you have to do.
Right, and without the ID number, which should start with Y0 and then a hexadecimal number, without that there'll be no remote control. Audio will work, but we need that ID for control from the Yamaha mixer. Yeah. Now, from an IP address point of view, the default settings of both our equipments is using the auto IP, isn't it? Which grabs an address starting with 169.254 and then some seemingly random but unique number. Using that is going to work just fine for us, though we can choose to have a DHCP server to deliver IP addresses if we like. But one thing we've got to remember, isn't it, Marcus, that we need two IP addresses per device. One for the Dante audio and a separate one for the remote control. So both the IP addresses need to be set or checked on the front panels, yes?
Yeah, that's very simple. Again, you're in the utility menu and you go to the Dante main IP address, which is in auto mode, and also at the moment the receiver IP address is in auto mode, so the mixing console is the master, and share the IP addresses to the different devices.
Right, so let's look then at what settings we need to do on the mixer. And any mixer from the CL and QL range are going to work with the same features. So we start in the setup menu, just here. And if we go to the network here, this is where we see the IP address for control. In this tab here, for device control, that's where we set the IP address we're using for the remote control functionality. The default setting is auto IP, and we see here an address starting 169.254. So we know that's going to be compatible. That's good. Then, before we go into the Dante setup, I just want to remind people of word clock settings. So the default for the mixer is Dante 48 kilohertz. That's going to work perfectly in almost all cases. The Sony devices, they clock to Dante automatically, don't they? So that's simple to set up. So Dante clock. Now in the Dante setup, we just got to make sure we have a console with ID number 1 in the system and Dante patch by this console. Now we're ready to go to device mount. We can mount up to 24 different devices. Let's choose here and go to the online device list, and now we can see here the two Sony devices. If the device has a blue colored name, then you know it can be remote controlled. So there's the first device, and that's discovered. And now the second device, scroll down, OK, and there it is. So next, we are going to go to the I/O device menu here. And on the Dante patch page, we can access the Dante input patch. we're going to get audio from there to here. Now we could patch manually, channel by channel, but I'm going to do a quick auto setup here. So all the inputs I have are going to be patched. So now these devices are coming in Dante channels 17 to 20. Then to get control, we can just go to the wireless tab here. And now we see the devices. And when you touch a device there on the left, it flashes the screen to identify them. Let's go to this one and we touch here to get a closer look. Now we can see quite a lot of parameters that are available. We've got the device name, we've got the transmit attenuator, we've got mute, quality level, RF level, and battery status. Now, I've got a couple of questions, Marcus. What is the advantage of having the transmit level available?
Yeah, in a normal situation, your input attenuator is on the input section on your mixing desk. Or if you're using a remote receiver, it will be the output of the receiver.
Right.
But in our case, we have the remote, and we controlling with this attenuator the input section on the AD converter of the transmitter.
Okay, so it's actually affecting the signal to noise ratio before we start transmitting digitally through the air. So it means you get the best quality. But then here we have a quality signal and an RF level. What is the difference?
The quality level is digital data rate. So that's the raw data rate coming from the transmission out of the codec. And we look if we lose some packages. So it shows you if every package is received correctly. If you see a drop, then the error correction will handle it. If you have too many drops, because you are far away from your transmitter or have interference, then it shows you that you have an audio loss. But this is independent from the RF section of the antenna. So the RF can be good, but your audio can be bad, or vice versa. The RF can be low, but your quality of the audio is still good. This is an advantage of the digital transmission, that you separate audio quality from RF quality.
And this is checked every second, isn't it? And
yeah.
Updated to the screen. So if you see a full graph like this, then you know everything is good.
Perfect.
and stable. Great. One last thing let's show, and that's when you look at the channel strip view here. So here's channel 17 to 20. You can see at the top here the RF level and the battery status and the TX gain there too. And when you look at a selected channel, you see the information up there. And if you touch there, then you see more detail here, including the quality graph there. So all that information right at your fingertips. It's a big advantage, isn't it, when there's just one operator for the whole system.
Perfect for a one-man show. He can control radio mics and mixing front of house in one touch.
Yeah, fabulous. Marcus, thank you so much for joining us. Please, everybody, enjoy greatly this amount of control and monitoring and ease of use and great sound quality in such a compact system. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.